Have you guys ever heard someone say, I think it's in the Bible, but I don't know where? And then the person starts to quote something that is totally not in the Bible. Well, in this video, we want to talk about quotes that we might think were in the Bible, but actually aren't. Let's get it. Guys, everyone, this is Neat and welcome back to this channel where we talk about life from a Christian Bible-based perspective. And here we want to make the Bible simple, practical, but also relevant. So today we want to talk about these quotes that are commonly mistaken to be in the Bible, but actually aren't in there. And to be honest with you guys, I might have said some of these quotes somewhere, on a pulpit somewhere. So this is how we're going to do it today. We want to talk about the quotes, of course, and then we want to find out where they come from, and then we're going to see if they are biblical or not. So are you guys ready? Let's go. Number one, coming off at number one. This too shall pass. Have you heard that somewhere? And some people claim that it's in the Bible. It's actually not in the Bible. So where did it come from? There are two stories, very similar stories, that people believe to be the origin of this quote. So what are those stories? It's believed that it's coming from a Jewish fable about the King Solomon. But it's also believed that it's coming from a Persian fable. In the King Solomon story, King Solomon was asking his wise men once to find a ring that will allow him to always be happy when he is sad. And the same thing in the story of the Persian fable, that it's a story of a king that asked his wise men to find a ring that will allow him to be happy whenever he's sad. In both stories, the wise men went and tried to find this ring. So they went and they found this poor guy who is someone who makes ring. And then the man decided to put these words on the ring. This too shall pass. So the wise man brought the ring back to the king, and the king laughing at them because it's impossible to find a ring that will always make him happy. And then when he saw the letters that were on the ring, he stopped laughing because the words really made him think. But is it biblical though? And guys, I think it's biblical. I think it's even common sense to know that nothing in this planet, nothing in this world can last forever. But when Christian says this too shall pass, it's actually inspired by 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 16 to 18. While Paul is trying to explain that their struggle while they are preaching the gospel is actually just for a moment. It's not going to last forever. So guys, I think that whatever stuff we found ourselves into, bad or sometimes even good, will pass. Anyway, let's go to quote number two. And this one is very, very famous. It says, God works in mysterious ways. Mystery. You gotta say it like that because it's mystery, right? Mystery. No, you don't. You don't have to. So in my research, this quote actually comes from a hymn writer back in the 1700s. Of course, some of the hymns that we are singing, that Christians are singing in church, were created in the 1700s.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And so anyway, this person right here, this hymn writer right here had an experience, a very interesting experience. He had multiple attempts of suicide, and every time, every single attempt was not successful because of something that suddenly appears, or a person who is there, or something that doesn't work, a rope that just broke. And in one of his hymns called Light Shining Out of Darkness, his first sentence in that hymn is, God moves in mysterious ways. So now let's look if it's biblical or not. And just a short answer, guys, I think that it's true, it's biblical. The meaning is biblical because you don't even know what I'm thinking, or I don't even know what you're thinking. So how can we know what God is thinking or what God is planning? In Isaiah chapter 55, verse 8, it says that my thoughts are not your thoughts, so therefore your ways are not my ways. So before I talk about the last one, I'm gonna give you guys some honorable mentions. If you take one step, God will take two. Money is the root of evil. Another one I found is actually spare the rod, spoil the child. If you guys have any other quotes that I missed that we usually think are in the Bible but actually aren't, please let me know in the comment section. So let's go to the last one. Number 3, God helps those who help themselves. Wow, I think you've heard this one. I believe you've heard this one before. God helps those who help themselves. All right, you know the drill. Where did it come from? It came from a Greek fable about a wagoner who was struggling traveling because he was traveling in a muddy area. His wagon or his chariot was stuck. The harder the horse pulls, the deeper the tire actually gets stuck. He prayed to Hercules and said, "Hercules, can you please help me?" And guess what Hercules said to this man? He said in the fable,
"The gods helps those who help themselves."
So that's where it come from. Is it biblical? That's the question. All right, I'm gonna give you guys 5 seconds. Can we do that? 5 seconds. I put 5 seconds on the clock. And I don't know what I'm gonna do right now. 5 seconds on the clock. The answer is no, guys. I don't think this is biblical. Actually, in the book of Proverbs, the Bible says that no one should trust themselves. Guys, the Bible tells us, teaches us that God's help, God's salvation does not depend on what we do or on what we think. He just decides to help us because he wants to help us. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his own. He didn't have to give his only begotten son, people. He just loves us, so he just decided on his own volition, his own will to help us. That's all I have for today, guys. And if you like this kind of content, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'm gonna wait. Yeah, go ahead and subscribe. Push the like button, push the notification bell so that you will never miss any content from this channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.